hear you, I welcome you in, just as you are, just as you are, just as you are, without changing a thing. Just as you are, I accept you. I see you, I hear you, I welcome you in, just as you are, just as you are, just as you are, without changing a thing. Just as you are, I accept. Just as you are, I see you, I hear you, I welcome you in, just as you are, just as you are, just as you are, without changing a thing. Just as you are, I accept. Just as you are, I see you, I hear you, I welcome you in, just as you are, just as you are. One more time. Just as you are, without changing a thing. Just as you are, I accept. Just as you are, I see you, I hear you, I welcome you in, just as you are, just as you are.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know this, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday Chapel, those in the room and those on Zoom. My name is Ron Ahnen, and my pronouns are he and him, and I'm a Star King student. We're gathered here today in the chapel of Mills College in Oakland on the stolen land of the Ohlone Native American people, whose descendants now govern themselves as the Muwekma Ohlone tribe of the San Francisco Bay Area. The theme of our service today is COVID, loss of places, gaining clarity. The pandemic has caused loss of place, whether we think in terms of physical space, one's internal spiritual grounding, the personal relationships we hold, or in some other way. We remember the people we have lost, over 700,000 Americans and approaching 5 million worldwide. We hold in our hearts the family members and loved ones who have felt that loss so deeply. But the turning of the leaves during this October month reminds us that we can also gain clarity and turn toward radical change to overcome oppression as we emerge from the pandemic. Now is a time of hopeful reflection as we stake out our new and uplifting pathway forward. Welcome, everyone. It's great to be together. And I would like to invite GTU doctoral student Ashley Smiley to join me in the lighting of our chalice and the red and white candles. Please join me in the lighting of our chalice with the words that are on your handout or in the chat. With the kindling of this flame, we reaffirm our commitment to accept life's gifts with grace and gratitude, and to use them to bless the world with the spirit of love.
Please join me in the lighting of the candles. The white and the red candles are a tradition created to accompany the chalice lighting by our Emerita President, Rebecca Parker. The white candle symbolizes violence, suffering, and death, and serves as reminder that we gather in a time of war. The red candle symbolizes the abiding reality of love and the shared work to restore the human community and the earth to wholeness and harmony.
And now I would like to invite Reverend Sifantus to lead us in our first song, Turn, Turn, Turn.
Please join me in singing. If you're in the chapel, you can add harmonies or muted from home in this familiar song written years ago now by Pete Seeger. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to love, a time to hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time for love, a time for hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. and a time to every purpose under heaven. And now the time in our purpose is for us to go into breakout rooms, all of us to meet and greet each other for 5 minutes. Okay, I need to get back to my script. Here we go. The beginning is now and will always be. You say you lost your chance and fate brought you defeat, but that means nothing. You look so sad. You've been listening to those who say you missed your chance. There's another train. There always is. Maybe the next one is yours. Get up and climb aboard another train. You may feel you're done, but there's no such thing. Although you're standing on your own breath is king. The beginning is now. Don't turn around, for regrets of bad mistakes will only drain you. There's another train. There always is. Maybe the next one is yours. Get up and roll aboard another train. We crawl in the dark sometimes and we think too much. Then we fill our heads with the craziest things that only break our hearts. I know you've seen what this earth can do when it's dragging down another load of worrisome fools. There's another train. There always is. Maybe the next one is yours. Get up and climb aboard another train. I know it's hard and we can feel confused. We can crown ourselves with it all till we feel we cannot move. We're building worlds that don't exist. Imagination plays the worst of tricks. There's another train. There always is. Maybe the next one is yours. Get up and roll aboard. There's another train. There always is. Maybe the next one is yours. Get up and climb aboard another train. And now Pastor Jacqueline and Ron Ahnen will offer responsive reading.
Please join us in the responsive reading on turning. The words are in your handout, or if you're on Zoom, in the chat. I will begin, and you can join in the response with Pastor Jacqueline. On turning. Now is the time for turning.
The leaves are beginning to turn from green to red and orange.
The birds are beginning to turn and are heading once more towards the south.
The animals are beginning to turn to storing their food for the winter.
For leaves, birds, and animals, turning comes instinctively.
But for us, turning does not come so easily.
It takes an act of will for us to make a turn. It means breaking with old habits.
It means admitting that we have been wrong, and this is never easy.
It means losing face. It means starting all over again, and this is always painful.
It means saying, I am sorry.
It means recognizing that we have the ability to change. These things are hard to do.
But unless we turn, we will be trapped forever in yesterday's ways.
God, help us to turn from callousness to sensitivity, from hostility to love, from pettiness to purpose, from envy to contentment, from carelessness to discipline, from fear to faith.
Turn us around, oh God, and bring us back towards you.
Revive our lives as at the beginning.
And turn us toward each other, God. For in isolation, there is no love. There is so much inviting us to turn our attention toward. I invite Pastor Smiley to hold us in a moment of prayer and meditation.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like
Blessings
a motherless
to the
child.
ancestors, creator, and great both and whom guides us into being. We come and say thank you for the privilege of place and community. We thank you for covering us, for meeting us where we are, and opening our eyes to where we might be going. We pray that you offer this gift to those who are not present in this space, that they may also be held, loved, seen, and comforted during this time. Please post in the chat your hopes, wishes, dreams, and requests for pastoral care. Pastor Jacqueline will respond within 48 hours. For in-house guests, there are prayer request cards at the welcome table. Please fill one out and place in the basket. In the name of truth, good, and loving kindness, Ashe.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a
Hi, I'm
motherless
back.
child.
I hope that you had the opportunity to put those hopes, wishes, and prayers in the chat.
Sometimes I feel like
My name is
I'm
Ashley Smiley,
almost gone.
and I'm currently a doctoral
Sometimes
student with the
I
Graduate
feel
Theological
like I'm
Union, and
almost
I have about 15 years of performance and production experience, currently investigating the many ways between the two disciplines. This homily is about 7 minutes, and throughout my time with you all, I'm going to ask you to do some physical actions. Don't worry, you will not have to perform a phrase of dance or do rigorous activity. I will guide you. I invite you to do whatever is most comfortable for you. Hold the guided moments for as short or long as you like. Also, I don't believe that theater is a spectator sport, nor do I believe that gathering in the spirit is a spectator sport. So please snap your fingers, respond in the moment, for this is our moment together. All right? All right, let's get started. First, please find a place and position that offers your body comfort and support. Try not to lean against a wall or piece of furniture. Now, if you like, close your eyes. I know how very, very theater of me, but if you can, and if you feel comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes for an alternate experience. Take a deep breath and rub your hands together. As you rub them together, I would like you to think about where you are, however you may take that. When your hands have gotten good and warm, place your hands on your belly button. Breathe deeply. Take note that you are here. Here, a very interesting word here. I think during this time of COVID, many people have found that they're not sure where here is. For me personally, I navigate through areas based on places, landmarks. The movie theater is over here, the grocery store is over there, and so-and-so's house is over here, etc. Places, buildings, structures in which you enter and exit, in which you can be closed in, where your feet are on some sort of solid ground, and where you are in a container of the known. You know what's going to happen in this place. You know who's going to be in this place. And you know why you are here in this place. But with COVID, buildings and structures, places have become unavailable, unenterable, inaccessible. And we find ourselves thirsting and desperate to get back to a place of structure because we, as human beings, are conditioned to need a place where we belong, a place where we understand, a place that we can wrap our minds around. And being in this virtual world, floating in cyberspace, and not even being able to say that I am putting my feet solidly on the ground of Zoom can be scary and upsetting. So I would like to speak with you about being rooted in the eternal. When I speak of the eternal, I don't mean a deity or a belief system so much as I mean those things that transcend time and place. So truth with a capital T, love with a capital L, the good with a capital G, those things that anyone, anywhere should prioritize when it comes to interacting with our fellow human beings and the world around us, things that don't need anything other than our choice to make. Now, take a breath, and while breathing, place your hands over your heart. You are here. We are in a crazy time where we are not sure where a lot of the places like our jobs or our homes or whatever the things that help root us in our daily routine in life are no longer here. And so we're kind of floating. The question becomes, how do I remain myself outside of these places? What do we do when we do not have that structure? And this is the part for me where spirit comes in. Spirit is also one of those things that transcends time and space, not seen, not touched, not heard, but felt and very real. And so this is the time in which we can take a moment to figure out what we can root ourselves in that is not a structure, that is not a physical place, but that will ground us nevertheless. For me personally, it has been an interesting journey of figuring out what and who I am outside of general location, because I am a born and raised San Franciscan. And so location is very important to me. My city, which is represented to me in the schools that I've gone to, the homes that I've lived in, the streets that I've walked down, and the way that it is disappearing all around me, those buildings being torn down, those people no longer living there, me no longer living there, but still claiming that place as mine, still claiming that city as mine. So then what is it? What is it about San Francisco for me that grounds me there? It is a love that I feel there like no other. It is a feeling of home that I've never been able to replace, nor have I ever wanted to. It is a place in which I feel the most comfort. I am grounded when I am in that city. But also when I hear that name, there's something about the name San Francisco that makes me go, yes, that's mine. And it is forever that. And so how am I rooted to this place? This has been the conversation for me. And I ask that you take a moment to think about that conversation for yourself a bit as well. What a beautiful privilege it is to have that problem, to worry about how buildings and the lack thereof make me feel insecure. I am grateful that I am not so spiritually, physically, and socioeconomically impoverished that I am not desperate for basic needs and can sit here with people on Zoom and in a chapel and worry about how to ground myself. Take another moment to just think about what it means to be launching from that privilege and the responsibility that comes with that. Many of us attending today are intellectuals and academics, and we have to ask, what is our role in this world right now? And how can we be grounded in it no matter where we are and who we are around? What is your definition of eternal, and how do you ground yourself in it? I think if we are able to figure out those transcendental, ephemeral modes of being, those ethics, morals, and values, and we are able to root ourselves in them, then we can emerge out of this moment of unknowing, brilliantly illuminated and anchored in a way that we can help bring other people through. Now, take a breath, warm your hands, and place them on your lap. you are here. We are in a position in which we have the privilege to be of assistance to those who desperately need it. And we are in a place of privilege to ponder just how we can situate ourselves to be that anchor, to be that rope that someone clings to in the darkness, leading them to a light. What can you be rooted in that is not a place that can help you be that light, not only for someone else, although that's what I've been mostly talking about, but also for yourself? What is it that will help you come back to yourself, where it is internal, right? It is not only eternal, meaning forever and ever in your life and in the next, but it is also internal, in you, moving, living, and breathing with you. If you have kept your eyes closed in your own time, open them and look around you and or at the screen. We are here. So what are we going to do about it? I now invite you to go into small groups for a bit of pondering and pontification with this question. What can you root yourself in that is both internal and eternal, that benefits not only you, but those around you as we turn over the new leaves of this time? Thank you.
Just as you are without changing a thing. Just as you are, I accept you. I see you, I hear you, I welcome you in. Just as you are. Just as you are. Just as you are without changing a thing. Just as you are, I accept you. I see you, I hear you, I welcome you in. Just as you are. Just as you are. Just as you are without changing a thing. Just as you are, I accept you. I see you, I hear you, I welcome you in. Just as you are. Just as you are. Just as you are without changing a thing. Just as you are. Just as you are, I accept. Just as you are. I see you, I hear you, I welcome you in. Just as you are. Just as you are. Just as you are without changing a thing. Just as you are. Just as you are, I accept. Just as you are. I see you, I hear you, I welcome you in. Just as you are. Just as you are. One more time. Just as you are without changing a thing. Just as you are. Just as you are, I accept. Just as you are. I see you, I hear you, I welcome you in. Just as you are. Just as you are.
As we come to an end of this service, I offer just a few announcements and some big shout out. Clark King School for the Ministry is still experimenting with a hybrid service, but as you can see, a hybrid service takes a few more heads, hearts, and hands. I want to give a big shout out to our first greeters, my neighbor, Maggie Risnick, and Cindy McPherson. She's not my neighbor, but she's my colleague. Thank you for being here today. And then a big shout out to Rev Maddie Sifantus for bringing us beautiful music this morning. Thank you, Reverend Maddie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for the seminarians out of Professor Teamas' class, thank you, thank you. If you're interested in being a greeter, please send me an email and we will have a bit of fellowship. Outside, there's a labyrinth here. There's some lollipops and caramels, all individually wrapped. So please pick up a lollipop and a piece of caramel to take a little sweet. But I invite Ron to come forward and send our light.
As we extinguish our chalice, we send the light to encourage our hearts to turn and transform our lives. And now I invite Reverend Sifantus to lead us in our closing song, People Get Ready.
So this song was by Curtis Mayfield and was done by the Impressions. So you can imagine all the different voices, and I'm imagining all of your voices, those of you who know this song, adding some oohs or some harmonies as I sing People Get Ready for Another Train. People get ready, there's a train coming. You don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesels humming. You don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. People get ready, there's a train to Jordan, picking up passengers from coast to coast. Faith is the key, open the doors and board 'em. There's hope for all among those loved the most. There ain't no room for the hopeless sinner who would hurt all mankind just to save their own. Have pity on those whose chances grow thinner. There's no hiding place against the kingdom's throne. So people get ready, there's a train coming. You don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesels humming. You don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. You just thank the Lord. You just thank the Lord. Ooh, get on board. Ooh, get on board.
And fellowship for about 15 minutes. Thank you. Be blessed.